Seriously? You need to watch this.
My cousin had 2 American bulldogs, and she gave me one to take care of because she had 2.
Okay.
So what happened was I was in the process of moving from an apartment into a house. So my cousin, which breeds dogs,
Another cousin?
Yes, another cousin.
Another cousin, okay.
Yeah. I allowed him to take care of Chico, for me until I move into a house.
What do you mean until you move into a house? How long?
Because I was living in an apartment.
I got it.
And I was in the process of moving into a house.
So you couldn't have the dog at the apartment?
Well, I had the dog at the apartments, but, the size of her, it was so much room that we had in the apartment,
Okay.
And I also have a 3-year-old son, so I felt I was going to have a Kindle set up in the rear of my house.
Okay. So go ahead.
So what happened was Chico somehow, after my cousin taking care of Chico for about a month and a half, ran away, got loose. So what happened was the dog was missing for about 3 months. So me and my cousin, we went to the surrounding shelters. We called there on the phones. So about 3 months after the fact, my cousin was walking one of his dogs and he seen Chico.
That whole first row is really uncomfortable behind you. Have you got a good hold on him?
Yes.
Really good hold?
Yes.
Okay.
Nah, he's a great dog, man. He's a great dog.
Okay.
So
go
my
ahead.
cousin brought it to Miss Tamika's attention that the dog was mine. And
I don't understand. How far does your cousin live from Miss Tamika?
like 2 houses over.
2 houses down? How does nobody notice in 3 months if the dog is in the house 2 houses down? How does that happen?
Because I'm only assuming, and it's not good to assume, that Miss Barrett kept Chico in the house.
Hidden.
Hidden.
Because she knew she was up to no good.
Yeah.
How'd you get this dog?
Okay, I was outside in my driveway. I think it was June 23rd.
Uh-huh.
And a guy came walking with Mason.
Can I ask you a question? Did you come with anybody else today?
No.
No. Okay.
I wish I did.
Yes, I wish you did too, because the dog is making me nervous and I'm not in that front row. Douglas, you want to take the dog? Not really?
I mean, she doesn't have a problem with
No, I don't have.
with me.
He's
You know
real
what?
friendly.
I'm just nervous.
He's really friendly, so.
Okay.
Make sure I got all my insurance stuff, all that stuff. All right, you gonna be all right? Come on.
I'm sure that.
If I don't come back, Yanni, you know.
Okay. Okay. So what happens?
Okay, so I was outside, just got back from the gym, and I was outside in my driveway, and this guy walked by with Mason on a leash, on a string, with a string tight around his neck, just like a rope. And he said, "Is this your dog?" And I said, "No." I said, "But go 2 houses down because my neighbor raised pits." So I thought that was his dog, so I sent the man to
Where's
his
the dog?
house.
Who'd you leave the dog with? Got somebody out there to take?
She found another dog and they took off. They can have a couple beers and they'll be
They're
back.
having a be back. All right, go ahead.
So he went to my neighbor's house 2 doors down, and nobody was home. So he came back and he said, "I really can't keep this dog. I had this dog for like 3 or 4 days, and I don't have, money to be feeding this dog." And I said, "Well, let me keep the dog, and I'll take the dog back over to my neighbor's house later."
You didn't even know if it was their neighbor's dog, did you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, then why are you keeping the dog in order
I
to
love
give it back?
dogs. I have 2 dogs at home.
So you were
besides
already
Mason.
thinking that maybe you'd keep the dog?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. So I went to my neighbor's house like 3 times that evening. He wasn't home. I went back the next day. He wasn't home. At that point, I took Mason to the vet. When I took him to the vet, I wanted to see if he had a chip. He didn't have
A chip.
a chip,
And you put your chip in him?
and I put my chip in him.
Okay, because you were planning on keeping him.
Right.
So go on.
Like 3 months later, my husband and I was outside in the front with our dogs, and my neighbor came sprinting across the front yard.
Had you been secreting the dog in the house
No.
in the meantime, so
No.
nobody would
My dogs are outside every day.
Even though we all know that dog belongs to somebody and you wanted to keep him. Right?
Right.
The dog's outside, and so one day you're outside with the dogs.
We're
and your
outside
husband,
with the
and-
dogs in the front, and my neighbor came, running across the yard, and he said, "Where did you get that dog from?" And my husband asked him why, and he said, "Because I'm missing a dog like that for like 3.5 months that got out my yard." And I said, and he said, I can't remember if he said first, but he said, "That's an American Bulldog." I said, "No." I said, "This is a boxer and a pit," because when I took the dog to the vet told me it was mixed boxer and pit. So he said, no, that's American Bulldog. I bought that dog from my cousin. I paid $1,200 for that dog. That's an expensive dog.
I have a question for you. You know how you told me that you figured it might be his, so you walked over and you knocked and there was nobody, then you walked over, you knocked and there was nobody. Did you ever leave a note?
No.
Because you wanted to keep the dog.
At that point, after I had the dog for a couple of days, then yeah, I wanted to keep the dog. I wasn't going to go out my way to do, you know,
To find
go
the rightful
back,
owner.
to go back and write a note.
All right, so he says that to you, and then you
But
tell him.
this is a person that I have a history with. He's my neighbor for one. For two, I've taken his dogs back on several occasions before in the past. So he knows that I have dogs also.
So he
if
should have looked in your house?
I'm saying,
You're
how
saying-
much effort did he do?
Okay, all right. You're
When I'm
saying
two
how much
houses
effort
down,
did he do? Okay.
And my next door neighbor also, I took the
Were
dog
there
to
ever
her
any
and she
flyers
didn't.
in the area or anything like that?
No, Your Honor, there wasn't any flies in the
Why
area.
didn't your cousin put up flyers?
Because I was dumbfounded to that. I was so historical. I was in the flesh. I wasn't thinking about that. All I was thinking about was the return of the dog.
Well, wouldn't that be a good way to get the dog back? Is to put
Yes,
flyers
true.
in the area? I mean,
Yes.
you know. All right, so go on.
The next day or the next day after that, I think it was the next day, he came to my house with him. It was early in the morning.
Wait, your neighbor comes to your house
neighbor came
with
with Mr.
his
Mitchell.
cousin, who is the plaintiff.
Right.
Okay.
And he said, well, let me see the dog. Let me see the dog. I said, you're going to have to come back because I'm on my way out. And my husband wasn't home at the time either. So I told him that he would have to come back. Then when he came back, he came to my house, but he didn't call or anything. He just showed up at my house. And I had people working in my yard, and they told me that he came to my house screaming and yelling about a dog, and he wanted his dog back. I called him back because he left his number. I told him it's very unprofessional for him to be coming to my house, talking to anybody on my property. He doesn't even know these people. These are people that I hired to work. They know nothing about the dog, you know. And he's telling them.
And you expect him to handle the theft of his dog more professionally?
theft?
I mean, that's his dog.
I don't
yeah.
think
What
it's
if
a
what if
theft.
somebody all of a sudden the next day had your dog that you love so much? But what if whatever court staff member out there decided they liked your dog, Mason, and took the dog, and then you find the dog at their house months later? How are you going to react? You don't think maybe you'd be out of your skull?
I would not go to their house. I spoke to him. He was very
He wants
nice.
results.
Okay. And I told him
So
when he
what
was at my
happened?
house what he had to do.
Right. And what he had to do was what?
I told him he had to take me to court.
At this point on this case, do you think he needs to get this dog back? Do you think she needs to give it back? Or do you think she deserved the dog more than the owner, since the owner is not responsible at the beginning because he was not able to put sheep on this dog? Or do you think he needs to get it back even if that mistake happened? Let me know in the comment section.
Mr. Edens, you had this dog how long?
Well, I had the dog 2 months prior to it. You know,
To having to give
my
it to your
cousin,
cousin.
having
And
to
then
give
your
it to my
cousin supposedly had it for...
a little over a month, probably about a month and a half.
Okay. You are suing for the cost of the dog. And you made a comment in your complaint that I thought was interesting, which is that you had talked to a friend of yours and you felt like it's not right to the dog to try to bring the dog back to your house at this point.
Well, what I did was I went to Tamika's house. So what I told her was I was going to pray about this situation and I would contact you. I went out of town and I came back.
Did you pray out of town?
Oh, mostly, of
Okay.
course, I prayed
Okay.
about it.
Go ahead.
So I called her numerous times. I couldn't get in contact with her to no avail. So I came over there.
Did you ever visit the dog? Did she ever let you see
She
the
told
dog?
me that she was going to let me and my son see the dog because I told her that, you know, the dog, my son was attached to the dog. She never let me see the dog.
So the first...
I have never seen someone that takes something that does not belong to them and still feel this entitled. Like, you wouldn't even allow the owner of the dog to see the dog. You are pretending as if this is all yours and nothing anybody can do to take it from you. Even telling the owner to go to the court and let's meet in court. This is ridiculous. Am I the only one feeling this way?
First time you've seen the dog was here?
First time I seen Chico was right now, and she could tell you, come on, I mean, wow.
Do you
Anyway,
have proof that it's that it's an American bulldog? Do you have the papers?
Well, actually, this is the leaks.
What is
Still
that?
with the rabies shots.
Okay, but do you have proof? You got
This
the
is-
dog because a cousin gave it to you. Is that cousin a breeder?
Well, nah, my cousin's not a breeder.
All right,
This
now-
is my dog license right here for
Okay.
Chico.
Okay.
his rabies shots.
Do you have his papers so that I know?
Well, actually, the papers when the person gave my cousin the dog, there was no papers with the dog. But this dog is not a pit bull mixed with whatever she's saying.
I don't know what it is. This is the part of the case where you got to prove to me what it is. Because there's one value on a purebred dog and there's a different value on a dog we love, but that's not a purebred. And you're asking for, if I go on the internet right now and I look up American Bulldog, I see prices between $900 and $1,200. I don't see the $2,500 you're asking for. But most certainly you have to be able to prove to me that it's the purebred you claim it is.
Yes,
you
I
have to be able to
understand.
prove that if you're trying to get this kind of top dollar.
Well, Yana, I mean, you can call.
All right, let me tell you the things I know. I know it's your dog, man. I know it's your dog. I also know that you know that at this point, the dog is in good hands and happy and secure and stable. Because what you said in your complaint was, you know, that you thought about it and it's not good for the dog to keep getting yanked from place to place.
It's not.
Okay? I know you know that. I know that. She knows that. I also don't like how she's handled this because I feel like she could have made a little better effort and she was self-interested and liked the dog and couldn't believe her good fortune and wanted to keep the dog. Okay? It's neither neighborly nor a good person nor anything else. I don't want to hear from you. I don't invite you to speak. It's not your turn. You said your piece. Okay? The question that I have now, she's paying for the dog. But I can't make her pay because I dislike her conduct. I got to make her pay for the value of the dog. Okay? I charge her $1 million right now. But I can't do that. I got to make her pay the real value that you've been able to prove of the dog. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's why I really would love those papers. Because you got to help me out a little here.
Yes.
Ms. Barrett, I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff $500 for the dog. Good luck, folks.
Well, the dog now is, well, officially yours. What's your reaction to that? $500 and it's yours.
It's worth it.
Did you
Very
steal
much.
it? Do you feel like you stole it from
No,
him?
I don't feel like I stole it.
Well, not steal it, but do you feel like it's his? Is that the dog that was his one time? You
It's
think?
for him to prove that it's his dog.
I know, but it's your dog now. But in your heart of hearts, do you know that was the dog that ran away from him?
I don't know.
I mean, if the situation was reversed, could you put yourself in his shoes and understand how he feels
Oh,
about
I
it?
definitely understand how he feels.
Will you let him and his son visit the dog now?
I never said that he couldn't.
All right. Have a nice day. Well, you don't have Chico anymore.
Yeah. I know I don't have Chico anymore, but what happened happened. I guess I have to take it with a grain of salt.
Well, you got $500. Does that make up for Chico?
$500 couldn't compensate for Chico.
Would you like to visit Chico?
That won't happen because she won't let me see Chico.
All right, do you think this is justice? Do you think this ruling is fair? All right, let's continue this discussion in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with the judge on this verdict or you don't like the judge. Verdict on this case, just like me, because I feel the guy did not get justice. Thank you for watching. Me see